Ever wonder what Northwest Calgary, the Quadrant, has to offer? This video is a part of my 8-video series of touring Calgary. I'll virtually go over every quadrant and share my insight with you. Hi, my name's Fyfe and I create value-driven content to help educate you and the people you know about Calgary real estate. Please consider subscribing and browsing the channel to find other relatable topics that could help you now or later in life. So let's get into it. So in every single video you will see that I use Google Maps here to help highlight Calgary and what it's all about. So in this video, we're going to concentrate on Northwest Calgary, which is actually the red quadrant here in the top left-hand corner. But I'm going to take it one step further and actually outline this quadrant on the map to make sure that you have a good understanding of where Northwest actually is. So if we take a peek here and we zoom in, we'll actually start from Highway 1 or 16th Ave and Crowchild Trail. So we'll actually go up Crowchild Trail, we'll come down Confederation Park, we'll go up 14th Street, all the way up past Brentwood. We'll go all the way up Shagnappy Trail over to Stony Trail, up and over, and then we'll go all the way down past these, right to the Bull River. From the Bull River, we'll go over to Stony Trail, we'll go back down to Highway 1, and then from Highway 1 or 16th Ave, we'll go all the way back to our beginning. So that right there is Northwest Calgary. So Northwest Calgary actually has 24 communities and is still expanding on the outside here. So in this video, I'll start off with some of the pros and I'll end with the cons. And the very first pro that we'll talk about in Northwest Calgary is actually the University of Calgary itself. So the University of Calgary does attract a lot of talent from around the country and even the world. It was founded in 1966. It has 5 campuses, 4 faculties with over 250 programs. And currently it has 33,000 students. So just below the University of Calgary, you'll actually see McMahon Stadium here. So if you zoom right in here, you'll see that this is actually the stadium where the Calgary Stampeders play. And the cool fact about this stadium is it's actually owned by the university itself, and it is very conveniently situated right on Highway 1 and Crowchild Trail, or 1A. So moving right along, we will look at some of the hospitals here because these 2 hospitals here play a very big role in the Northwest. Foothill Medical Center and the Alberta Children's Hospital cover a very large area of Northwest, and even Sub-City Center. Now there is a hospital over here in the northeast and another one down here, the southwest. But in this video, we're going to concentrate just on the Northwest here and these hospitals. So on top of the hospitals, Calgary-Northwest does have a lot of amenities. So when you actually follow this main artery all the way up the Northwest, you can see a lot of these little yellow commercial districts. And in these commercial districts, there is a lot of different amenities, basically offering everything that you would need in regards to groceries and stuff that you'd buy for your house. The cool thing about Calgary-Northwest as well is when you actually drive up this 1A here, you'll notice that it's a pretty consistent hill. And when you get upwards of Tuscany, Arbor Lake, Ranchlands, you will start to notice that there are some very nice views of downtown Calgary, which is right here, or the mountains. Now, I would have to personally say that some of these views are some of the nicest in the city because you do get that really nice mountain landscape as well as downtown Calgary, which I'll try to showcase in this video. So moving right along, when you are considering something like Northwest, you cannot ignore the fact that the Bull River right here is such a beautiful piece to the quadrant. So the Bull River is pretty cold, but for the brave men and women who decide to actually jump in and enjoy this water in the summertime, you will find that there is a lot of enjoyment from it. So you can technically jump in the water here at Baker Park or Bowness Park and flow all the way down the river, all the way to downtown and beyond. Now, I really do enjoy this river because it's one of the most beautiful water scenes that you'll ever see. The turquoise water in the summertime is absolutely magnificent. So if you want to just enjoy some time at one of the parks along the actual riverbank here, or if you want to dive in, or if you want to buy a license and get a fishing rod, you can actually go out there and catch a couple fish. The Bull River is absolutely magnificent, and I think that if you have any time, if you're from a different quadrant of the city, you should definitely take some time and come up here and check this out because it is really pretty. Now, along the Bull River, there are many different paths and recreation areas. So Beaumont Park here actually is very large and has a lot of different paths with a lot of different inclines, hosting a lot of good views. So if you are into the outdoors, you really like the lifestyle of being outside and just enjoying nature, then spending some time down in these areas is definitely key, as well as getting up here into the Tuscany area. And just like the North, you want to enjoy Noise Hill Park as well because it's absolutely massive. So besides green space and pass, if you continue to go south here, actually notice Windsport, which is Calgary's ski hill. Now, Calgary's ski hill is quite tiny, but for the families that would just want to get out after work or on the weekends and just enjoy some easygoing slopes, then this place is absolutely perfect for you. You also get some really nice views of downtown, which is right directly southeast of that, and then the mountains as well, looking just directly west. Windsport does offer a lot of different facilities. They do have an arena, they have gymnasium, they do have a lot of different recreational uses there as well. So the Windsport is not just a winterized unit. You can actually come here in the summertime, enjoy some paths, enjoy some downhill biking, and really just get out there and have some fun. Now, the last thing that I'm going to point out about Calgary-Northwest is just its access to the mountains. Now, I'm really big on lifestyle and trying to convince people that they need to think about their lifestyle and what they want to achieve. And for those who really enjoy being in the mountains, Northwest is really good for the sole purpose that you can get in and out of the city within minutes. So if you're looking to just go to Banff from about this location here, all the way up to Banff is about an hour and a half. So being able to actually drive from the city to Banff within a very short period of time is pretty golden. All right, so that was the pros. And let's go to the cons. It wouldn't be that good of a review if I didn't give you at least some cons about the actual quadrant itself. Although there's not many in my opinion, I do feel that it is important for you to consider some of the cons here before investing into the Northwest. And the first one being traffic. 16th Avenue and Crowchild Trail are quite busy, and being in this area, especially during an event, can be somewhat frustrating. When you go up Crowchild Trail and into some of these amenity areas, there is a lot of traffic depending on the time of year. Now, the roads are quite wide and they do help keep traffic flowing, but there is a pretty big demand for these amenities during peak seasons of the year and busy times of the day. All in all, I would have to say that the roadwork is pretty good here in the Northwest, but there is some frustrating areas. So on top of the traffic, there are a few bottlenecks. Now, not every community deals with this, but just as an example, something like Silver Springs, where the whole community is fairly bottlenecked to only a couple different passages. Places like Scenic Acres as well as Arbor Lake kind of suffer from the same thing. Now, it's not overly common, but it is something to consider. Another thing I do want to highlight about the Northwest that really doesn't affect too many people is the train line. Now, this train line right here is actually directly connected to Vancouver and some of the ports in BC. So it is a fairly busy train line. Now, places like Tuscany, Scenic Acres, Bowness, and Montgomery, a little bit of Silver Springs will hear some of that train noise. Now, depending on how sensitive your hearing is, being very close to the train line can cause some frustrations, especially in places like Bowness. So if you look at this train line right here, it does go right through the middle of the community, and Montgomery just right in front of it. And what's crazy to that is Bowness is actually such a beautiful community. There are some $1 million homes right here just backing right onto that train line. Next, I'll just talk about how expensive it is. So the Northwest is actually the second most expensive quadrant when comparing to other quadrants of the city. So for someone who wants to get a little bit more house for their dollar, then the Northwest may not be the best area for them. Places like Northeast or East, maybe even a little bit of Southwest, you might be able to get a little bit bigger of a home for the same price. So depending on what you want to achieve, the Northwest may or may not fit within your criteria. One other thing I do want to highlight that really doesn't affect too many people, but it is something worth noting, is the hills. Now, there are some crazy hills and, Scenic Acres, Arbor Lake, Silver Springs that can cause some frustrations depending on the car that you drive. Now, this shouldn't be too much of a deterrent for you, but it is something to kind of keep in consideration depending on your comfort level of how your driving is. But besides that, really, I don't have too much negative to say about the Northwest. I really do enjoy this quadrant. If you feel that I've missed anything in this quick little overview tour, please feel free to comment below, because I do want to start doing this more year over year as Calgary continues to grow and I learn more of how to do this a little bit more effectively. I do have a special place in my heart for Northwest. I do feel like it is one of the best quadrants in all of Calgary, and it would be a pretty interesting conversation to have with someone to talk about why the Northwest might not be the best quadrant in the city. So don't forget to check out my channel. I really appreciate you sticking it all the way through. I hope that you got just a little bit of value from this. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to shoot me a text or give me a call. But until next time, peace.